Literally woke up, didn't even take a shower yet, just washed my face. What's up, YouTube? I wanted to make a video about tech. Don't get into tech. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're thinking about getting into an industry, if you're a college student, a high school student, and you're looking for your next big move, don't get into tech. There's a reason why I just woke up, didn't even take a shower, and I'm on YouTube right now making a video. I have been in tech for the past 6 years professionally, but low-key, I've been in tech my entire life, right? Ever since I was a teenager, I was into computers and all this other nonsense, chasing the trend, chasing the wave, trying to ride that wave. But I'm telling you right now, it's a waste of time. Don't get into tech. Listen to me, you'll regret it. If you get into tech, if you decide to make tech your whole career, you're going to look back and you're going to regret that decision. You might be wondering, why am I going to regret that decision? You're going to regret that decision because tech is a never-ending freaking treadmill. Every single time you master something, every single time you think you've made it to the pinnacle of tech, you think that you're on top of what's going on in the world, you got the skill set necessary to land your dream job. Every single time you think that, something new comes up and you fall behind. I swear to God, if you follow tech, if you become one of these people who's a tech aficionado, you will burn out so quickly. You will look, and you might be able to get ahead in the short term. For example, myself, software engineer, iOS developer, worked on several major projects, and I made my little bag, right? I was able to save up enough money to afford the McLaren. I was able to, buy a little bit of jewelry, get some clothing, set myself up a little bit. But overall, was it really worth it? Time will tell, right? Only time will tell. One thing is for sure is that I am definitely burnt out. And the problem with tech is that when you think that you're established, when you think that you've made it, there's always some innovation that comes out that shuffles everything up. And before you know it, you're on the bottom of that pile again, right? For the past 6 years, I was pretty confident in my skill set, pretty confident working at the company where I was at, making those mid 6 figures, happy as hell, thinking I made it. And then one day I got that phone call from HR. Mr. Leonard, we have to inform you that you're no longer going to be part of the family. And it was all over. Time to start over again. And the problem with tech is that when you have to start over, you're not starting where you left off. There's a giant gap, a knowledge gap. There's a knowledge gap. And like I said, I was already burnt out. I promise you, if you're in a company, if you're in tech for more than 3 years, 4 years, you're going to burn out. I was already burned out, and now having to start over, having to learn a bunch of new stuff that happened in my absence. I say in my absence because during the time period where I was established, I wasn't learning any of the new stuff. One thing you have to remember with tech is that every week something new happens. Every week they come up with some new thing. And if you're not keeping up to date with that new thing, you fall behind, it's GG's for you. The other problem with tech is it's becoming oversaturated, right? I feel like it's the same thing that happened with lawyers. It's the same thing that happened with doctors, with architects. Every generation has their industry that is hyped up. Everybody has their parents saying, oh, my son's going to be a lawyer. My son's going to be a doctor. My son's going to be an architect. And what happens is that everybody floods those industries, right? They all go to college for the same degrees. They all graduate and they all think that they're going to become lawyers or doctors or architects. The new best thing is an engineer. Oh, my son is studying software engineering. He's going to work at Apple. Well, unfortunately for your son, there's a million other kids that have the same brilliant idea. And everybody can't work at Apple, at Google, at Microsoft, IBM. I'm naming a bunch of old companies. That tells you how old I am. Dell. You got to add Dell into the list of old companies. But the truth is that it's oversaturated and we're in a race to the bottom. So much so that even engineering, software engineering in general is done. And the new biggest thing is AI. Now everybody wants to jump into AI. And the problem is, just like any other trend, by the time you hear about it, it's already too late. It's already oversaturated. It's already hit mainstream. I got a little bit lucky. I jumped into this software engineering thing a little bit before the peak, right? I was able to ride that wave, but that wave is starting to die down. It's starting to die down. And I can see the writing on the wall. This industry is cooked, and I don't recommend you wasting your time. I also got extremely lucky that I'm a self-taught engineer, right? I didn't go to school for this. I didn't spend the $80,000, $90,000 getting some fancy degree in computer sciences. I almost did. Literally, I almost did. I went to Embry-Riddle University. I filled out all of the paperwork. I got approved into the program. The only step I was needing, the only step left for me was getting the financial aid to pay the tuition. And thank goodness I was a week late to that and I missed the deadline. And instead of waiting around for the next year, I said, you know what? Let me just teach myself this shit myself, right? I'm good with computers. Let me just teach myself this shit. And I set out to teach myself it. And in 6 months, I had taught myself everything I needed to know. And in 8 months, I had a job. You know, what the colleges, what the universities are telling you is a half truth, or at least back when I was learning this, is a half truth. Oh, we can guarantee a 95% acceptance rate to jobs, right? That's what they used to say. 95, 98%. If you go into this career field, you're guaranteed to get a job. That's what they used to say. But what they weren't telling you is it wasn't because of the degree. Yo, I had jack shit degree, chat. Guys, 0 degree. I taught myself this and I still got a job making mid-6 figures. It was a scam. It was a scam. College is a scam. Universities are a scam. They know. They have the statistics. They know that anybody who had experience in computer science and programming could get a job. You didn't need to spend $80,000. I think the tuition was $90,000 for Embry-Riddle computer science degree, bachelor's. So I was able to evade that ball, dodged it. I dodged that ball. I was able to get the job myself without the overhead. But I know that a lot of you guys, if you're watching this video, you probably are studying this. I would suggest you change your major. I really do. It's not worth it. I'm telling you right now, you know, you see the guys with the fancy cars and the nice watches and the nice clothing, and you think like, oh man, I want to be that guy. But no, you don't want to be that guy, because the writing is on the wall. And by the time you graduate, it's already too late. If I were you, I would pivot into something else. I don't know what's trending right now. Like I said, I'm a little bit outdated, but whatever's trending, you got to find that wave before it swells. Jump into the wave before it swells. That way you ride it up to the pinnacle. And then once it gets to the top, you rug pull, go to the next thing. But don't go into a dying wave. Tech is a dying wave. And when I say tech, I mean software engineering, entry-level, basic software engineering. Obviously, tech itself is always going to have something new. It's always going to have a new wave. But the problem, like I said in the beginning of this video, is if you jump into that new wave, it is always changing. And you might get the rug pulled from underneath you. The other problem with tech is that you lose your natural humanity and connection with nature. You know, if you go too far in an analytical direction, you start to lose who you are as a person. You know, a lot of these tech people are obsessed with innovation, obsessed with tech. You know, they will go to the extremes to innovate. They don't care about the consequences. They don't care about how it affects the world, how it affects nature. They don't care. They don't care. I've coined this behavior engineering brain. It's when you are pursuing innovation at any cost. You don't care about the consequences. You don't even care about making money at that point. You're just trying to innovate for innovation's sake, right? And I've worked with a lot of guys like this. There are a lot of people in tech that would destroy the entire planet to develop something like general intelligence AI. They would destroy the entire planet just to see what happens, right? Just out of curiosity. I strongly believe that as a species, we've let tech go too far. We need to reel it back. We need to start to really evaluate what we're trying to do, because I think that we're going down a bad path. But like I said, so many people have tech brain, it's hard to argue against it, right? So many people are chasing the next shiny thing. And I feel like tech is an illusion, right? There's always going to be another shiny thing on the horizon. It's a dangerous path to go down as an individual and as a society as well. So all I can say is I hate to be the harbinger of bad news, but you need to hear my word and just stay away from tech. Stay away from tech. Go find some other industry to jump into. I promise you, you're going to regret it. If you jump into tech, you're going to regret it. And you might be one of these people that gets contaminated with engineering brain and you lose yourself in that rabbit hole of tech. Buying the new shiny gadget, trying to come up with the newest algorithm. Even if it consumes every resource on the planet, you don't care. You just want to see what's going to happen. You just want to chase that feeling of what's new, and that gets old. It gets old. The burnout is real. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. Subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.